In the culturally diverse classroom that we have today, it is important now, possibly more than ever, to develop practices to aid in the academic growth and understanding for some of our more diverse learners, especially from different cultural backgrounds, as is the case with our English language learners today. I have begun implementing the use of lap books for my social studies curriculum. This is a means of allowing my students to put the lesson in their own words, and some of my English language learners actually put it in their own language. I have several Spanish lap books being presented. I have a Russian lap book being presented. Uh, these students use their own native language as well as a bit of English to reinforce some of what they need to know. They are able to tie this in with images, doodles perhaps, colors, anything that will help them to reinforce it. Here I've gathered a few images for a lap book that my class has been completing this week. Studying the Spanish missions is an important part leading up to the rest of Texas history, and you can see on the left I have an image of my student. He is adding his finishing notes relating to a Spanish friar, which is one of the people of a Spanish mission. I have not looked it over to see what he is writing, but he is writing under the Spanish friar, and it looks to me like he is comparing it to a priest, so that he is better able to understand that that person or that type of position is religious, and he's using that terminology. On the other side here, we have some vocabulary being reviewed, and my student has taken a highlighter and he is going to town on what he feels is important. This is important for these kids to know how to do, because these lap books are not simply a means of cutting and pasting and passing time. No, these kids can actually use these lap books as their notes when it comes time to complete assignments and take their tests. This is a task that they need to know how to do when they get into 5th and 6th grade, so I'm starting to teach them how to do it now. One of my lap books that I have in my class right now is actually from a student that is very new to this country. He has only been here for going almost 12 weeks now. Most of his lap book is in Spanish, but he has a mirror image. On one side it's Spanish, the other side is English. So this is a great way to help him learn the language and the vocabulary as well. I have found that this is a good practice to allow my kids to bring in a little bit of themselves into the assignment. I recall one of my previous lap books, we talked about Spanish heritage, and one of our words was the quinceañera. One of my girls, she chose to bring in pictures from her older sister's actual quinceañera, and that helped her to show to the rest of the class what a quinceañera actually was, not simply a word. So this has been very helpful to allow my kids to share ideas and better understand other aspects of history and culture beyond what is written in a textbook.